Okay, hi guys, it's Wade here. I thought I'd give you a demonstration of what your space looks like in virtual reality. Currently, I'm in the MetaQuest 3 headset, seeing the heads-up display of the menu that you would use for using our application. Hopefully one day you decide to go down that white labeled app. As I said, we can simply take our application and white label it as Design America. But for now, I'm going to go into the library. You can see, as you know, with any kind of application there, it's loaded. And the one that we're looking at here is the Invis app that we have that allows for your customers and whoever else to add those experiences to their device and be able to go shopping, I suppose, remotely and looking it through it in virtual reality. So the idea is I can step into the application, and what it does now is load the Invis application. I want to be very clear that I've already added the experience, which is from memory L39M. That was the code. Again, just to be clear, every experience that we convert using those files create its own unique individual listing code, and those codes can be used across both the augmented reality app on the Invis application, as well as using the virtual reality side of things. And also comes with that URL I talked about, which we'd love to embed in your website. So you can see now I'm currently in what is, I suppose, a living area, but this is actually a loading screen. So you can see how realistic some of these designs are that's in front of me, because this is using lifelike. But as you can appreciate, we want to scale this by converting a DWG into a white mass or white card. So as you can see, the images have been loaded. I've taken off your website. Please just ignore the Wade's 3D Spaces Co. Of course, that would be under your own. But the idea is essentially anyone who adds that code into here would then have all the designs queued up, ready to go. So this is an example of what we've converted for you. As mentioned, I have added the name of this particular one. And as you can see here as well, you can see the code that's associated with that actual naming convention. From here, I can swipe through and go through some of the elevations that have been done. You can see I've taken liberties of adding some branding. So again, you can do what you want, but I just wanted to show you that this can be branded. Again, Invis is the dashboard and the experience itself is yours. So we go through and have a look at the different elevations from side, left, right, front, and back. And as you can see, there are other alternatives here where we can start to access other bits of information. So we can go into, private viewing and so on. So I just want to be very clear that here are the pictures. We can also add floor plans if we wanted to as one of the pictures, but I just wanted to show you how that works. Now, I've loaded this up. It took probably, I don't know, probably 45 seconds to download onto the device, but now I'm going to private viewing. From here, it's now going to load right in front of your model. And you can see now, here we are. These are my hands stretched out in front of me, and I'm able to walk around and look and move and duck and go up and go down. And by simply actually holding down the trigger, I'm able to aim where I want to go. So let's start by moving over here. So I can go close to here, or I can go as far away as over here, and I can then turn around, and you can see now one-to-one what it looks like from the outside. So I'm going to go over here. I can go over here. I'm now making my way through the front door. And if I wanted to, I can turn around. I can walk back through the front door if I want to. Obviously, there's guardians here, so appreciate if it's coming up and recording here, there's these guardian lines. Appreciate I'm in a very small area of my living room, but of course, this can be made much larger in your office or wherever. The user can actually do a very large physical area to walk around, which allows them to move through the space one-to-one rather than having to stop at a certain increment. You can increase the size of what we call is the boundary. So I'm just going to jump over here, and you can see what I'm doing. I'm literally moving through the space, getting an understanding of how the room feels. I can see the floor plan still on the ground, slightly pixelated, but again, this is just a working proof of concept. The actual floor plans themselves would be done in a higher res to add to the floor, but I can move over here. I can look through the window and see, as you can see, the front where the front door entry is, and I'm looking around and I'm getting a sense of space. I can move through here if I want to. I'm just quickly jumping through. Just showing you how easy it is for me to look around. I can turn, I can look, I can duck, I can go this way, I can look to my right, I can look to my left, I can go around the corner, I can look up, I can look down, I can move to here, I can see some of the other details. But again, it's a white card, nothing fancy, but at least it has context. Like I'm standing up towards, literally up to here, and I can see, oh, what's this going to look like looking over there towards the fireplace or looking outside towards the back patio. I'm getting a really great sense of space now when I'm walking through this area and moving through and ducking and diving and looking, and it's great. But I want to also show and highlight that when I click on this button here, which is A, which is press to app menu, it'll now allow you to actually go and change the room. So I can click on here, and I've actually gone in and just done some designations. With our Invis Client Portal, as you can appreciate, you can go into the actual design that has been converted on your account, and you can actually change and add any teleport point that you want. So if you wanted to, you can see I've highlighted areas. I might just click on front, and then bang, I'm at the front. I might want to go and aim for bedroom 2, click on that. I'm in now bedroom 2. And notice where I'm standing, I actually place the anchor or the teleport this way, looking in this direction. But essentially what I've done is all the teleport points I've placed in our Invis Client Portal and named them accordingly. So let's go to, say, garage. Right, so I can look around. There I am looking at the roller door, and I can still keep moving, of course, with the heads-up display still present, but I can close that if I want to. I'll go into kitchen, see where I'm looking around. I can close that because it's annoying me, and I continue walking on my merry way. Again, I can get rid of the menu, and I can keep walking around. I can go up to here and look again. I can go over to here if I want to, through the laundry. Look around, look out the window, go out through the garage. And again, if I want to jump back to where I want to go, let's go to the front. I simply click that button by pulling the trigger, and I'm out the front again. Other information here is the listing info we talked about before that's now inside the space. Again, could include whatever you want, but I want to be very clear that you can do a lot of customization here and adding some more of your branding. So that's it in a nutshell. One thing to mention, of course, is there are other things you can do within that menu screen, of course. But you're also able to add and load other experiences that you might have queued up. So appreciate all these different designs here from people I've manually added. But you can imagine having all the designs up here if you want to by giving them codes on your website. Or again, you might already have them queued up, or at least telling your partner, hey, the application you download, here are your 20 codes, add them into their headset, and bang, you're off to the races by clicking and selecting which one. And appreciate too, I want to be very clear. You'll notice here it's like, oh wait, there's no imagery here. It works on what is called project as the hierarchy, and then underneath that project is the listing category. So I want to be very clear that you have the opportunity here to have, say, Design America, but with having subcategories of 1 story, 2 story, and having those designs underneath those subcategories. And of course, each of those projects, or in this case, categories, can have their own unique design or thumbnail or image describing what they're about to go into by clicking on each of those. So you can see here, I haven't added, in this case, what that would be under a 1-story thumbnail. It talks about your range here. But if you wanted to do, you could, of course, add that through the Invis Client Portal, and then the customer would go, all right, I'm now hovering over the Design America 1-story range. They can click on this, and of course, that would then highlight maybe here in the naming convention, the special code. So when I click on that, now it comes up showing that image, the side elevations, any kind of floor plans you want to add. They can click on more, add, see some more details, read it, go through it all, and again, do private viewing. One thing I want to mention very quickly before I go is the idea of being able to look at public viewing. What does that mean? It means that you can have more than one individual inside that tour at the same time. So you can essentially have someone who is a sales rep using the application, starting a session, and then adding an individual in VR and watch them and see them anywhere, side by side at a sales seat setting. It could be at their office. It could be in 2 parts of the world. It could be me in Australia, you overseas in North America. But you can have multiple participants if you wanted to. Imagine having open days where you have able people rocking up and you can see them walking around. That's what this can do. So I just want to be very clear about the functionality of what this provides and the exceptional quality and display, the heads-up display it provides. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. And thank you very much for listening to me waffle.